Hello everybody, it is September 13, 2024. Today we have a couple of Overwatch news to cover. First, a director's take, which is the blog that the game director does, Aaron Keller, but it looks like Alec Dawson, the lead hero designer, has taken over. He's going to talk about Juno, Clash, the game mode, and looking ahead to the mid-season 12 patch. We also have the Overwatch 2 and World of Warcraft skin collaboration, which we'll look at the end. Sit back, relax, and listen up to the blog. Here we go. Hey y'all, Alec here. This week's director's take will be a small reflection on the first half of Season 12 with the release of Juno and Clash, as well as a brief look at some tweaks coming in the mid-season patch and beyond. Checking in on Juno, so let's start with her. Honestly, it's been such a joy seeing the community fall in love with our favorite Martian. We started on her prototype early last year and went through many iterations to get to the Juno you see today. Heck, we were still a little worried about a lock-on damage ability, but y'all have seemed to acclimate well to combating her pulsar torpedoes. Since that first round of buffs shortly after her launch, Juno has remained in that safe side of strong zone that we aim for. While Juno finds success in most modes, she does particularly well on payload and hybrid maps such as Circuit Royale, Kings Row, and Blizzard World. This is quite different than a hero like Lucio, whose best modes are typically Flashpoint and Control. It's still early, but there's some indication that her speed may be more useful in tighter corridors and less in open spaces. Things are still settling as far as compositions go, but if OWCS Korea is setting a trend, expect to see Juno getting paired with Ana or Brig more in the weeks ahead. Overall, we are happy, very happy with Juno's introduction to Overwatch 2. Your feedback during the trial led to plenty of changes going into Season 12, and the team has loved seeing all the fan art, gameplay clips, and genuine excitement for Juno over the last few weeks. As we progress further in the season, we're going to let Juno sit in her current state for a bit and observe how elements of her kit mature over time to see if additional changes are needed. For example, how allies play with their ultimate. So thanks again for the warm reception here. In short, it looks like they're not going to change Juno at all, probably till Season 13. Interesting observation that Alec in the community has is that when she was released in Season 12, a lot of people were saying she was very weak, myself included. I did say I think she was a little below average, but like I think she's underrated, and as time goes on, as you know, the season matures and people figure out how to play with and against Juno, I actually predicted she would get worse over time when people learned how to play around her. But again, that was before they ended up buffing her 2 separate times, right? That initial buff like 3 days later, shortening the cooldown of her glide booster, increasing the distance of the speed ring, and then changing the fire rate now of her weapon, increasing the damage by a little bit, decreasing the healing. Now, personally, I would actually rate Juno as close to S tier, A tier, S tier right now. And she plays exceptionally well with D.Va. That's probably something they had to tackle because that speed ring booster combo is ridiculous. You can play in the perfect far back position and still get jumped because that speed multiplier is a little too good. I think if they're not going to touch Juno, I predict they're probably going to nerf D.Va in the midseason. But for me personally, I've been rocking a 70% win rate as Juno on the NA East ladder, or North American ladder. I'm in top 150 right now, around Masters 1, GM 5, and I'd say it's pretty good. After the reset, like I really enjoy Juno, and I hope you guys are liking her as well, and I've been finding a lot of success. All right, let's continue with this article. Next steps for Clash. Alex says, even with some of these early changes to Clash, we think more tweaks are needed. Here are some of our current priorities in order for adjustments to Clash. Number 1, they're going to decrease the stomp rate and number of matches with an extremely short duration. At least they'll try to. Number 2, they're going to try to incentivize attacking objectives A or E even more for the attackers. Number 3, they want to increase the overall feeling of fairness. And number 4, keep Clash clear and understandable. We'll be implementing a series of changes that can independently target different aspects of Clash while keeping the above priorities intact. Now, why are these priorities important? Let's take a look. So first, how are they going to decrease the stomp rate and matches with short duration? Personally, I think my shortest Clash match chat, YouTube audience, is probably 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I felt the absolute highs and lows of Clash because I played like a grueling 30-minute Kings Row overtime match, and then the following game, I won that Kings Row match, and the following game I lost a Clash map in like 3 minutes, and it just felt terrible, like working so hard in that previous overtime Kings Row just to lose it very quickly. But vice versa, I've done the same where I lost a really close match and then just stomped on Clash right after to make up for it. So the highs and the lows are a little too extreme, and I do think they need to squish it down the middle and make Clash a little bit better. So what are they going to do to decrease stomp rates? So Alex says, no one likes it when the queue times exceed your match time, and some Clash matches end quickly. While Overwatch can be a swingy game, we often find that matches stabilize after a certain amount of team fights, given teams An additional chance or two to not get blown out will be quite healthy for Clash overall. Oh, they're just explaining. They're not going to explain exactly what they're doing. They're just kind of explaining the feeling. Oh, okay. Their next priority is incentivizing attacking objectives A or E for the attackers. Alex says the final capture areas on Clash can be difficult to gain points on, and splitting these capture points into the 3 ticks has helped, but we believe the attacking team should feel more comfortable going for that first tick rather than posturing and see if they force out ultimates from the defending team. We don't want you to feel like the correct strategy is to hang back too often, as fighting on the final points can create good in-match tension. Next, they want to increase the overall feeling of fairness. Alex says attacking into the enemy side of the map should feel worthwhile, but currently there are games of Clash you lose even though you felt like your team had the upper hand for the majority of the match. I agree. A defending team can snowball 2 fights into a final fight at the center point where your team, the previous attackers, didn't have the opportunity to group yet. We want to make some tweaks to increase the feeling of fairness for attackers, particularly on the B or D objectives. They want to make Clash clear and understandable. Clash can be chaotic, it's part of the allure of the mode, but also needs to be kept in check. By adding too much complexity to scoring, we run the risk of making it very hard for you to have a sense of how a match is progressing and how close a match is to finality. Right now, we feel like there's a good base to work from here without uprooting Clash's fundamental rules. While we think some of Clash's blemishes will improve naturally, we've been testing tweaks to the modes with the above priorities in mind. Some light changes will go into the mid-season 12 patch, with the first round of full tweaks coming at the start of season 13. Thanks for all the feedback here. All right, Alec kept it vague, but what I would like to see is honestly make it go up to 7 points. I feel like even at 5, even in a 4-4, like down to the wire, most Clash matches are under 10, like under 8-7 minutes. You can make it to 7, and I don't even think it'd be that bad, because at most it's going to be like a 15-minute game tops. So that's my first thing. I'm excited to see how they tackle the rest of Clash, but for me, it is my least favorite game mode so far, in Overwatch 2 specifically. I like it. I like Push more than it, and I like Flashpoint a lot more than it. Okay, final part of the blog is the mid-season balance. Finally, as we head into the mid-season 12 mid-season patch, we're looking at the survivability of tanks. Since our bigger tank patch in patch 2.11.1, so that's the mid-season 11, about a month and a bit ago, the tank survivability shot up, and it's felt very difficult to punish tanks effectively, D.Va especially. We want to pull back slightly, specifically looking at the power level in armor and some of the defensive passives given to the tank role. Expect these changes to drop next week. So next week, mid-season 12 will probably be Tuesday, September 17th, chat. Beyond the mid-season balance changes, we're experimenting with reducing the effectiveness of certain hero counters, such as beam damage against a subset of tanks, while they're using their defensive abilities. Sombra has also been a hot topic lately, and we're looking at some changes to her stealth duration, among other things. You can look forward to the updates in the mid-season update coming next week, along with the Overwatch 2 World of Warcraft special cosmetic event. I'm supposed to drop some WoW puns, but a large gust of wind blew through camp and scattered them around Stranglethorn. Thanks, everyone. Let's make a great game. Okay, very vague, so all we know for sure is D.Va nerfs. Nerfs to armor, buffs to beams specifically against a certain subset of tanks using defensive abilities. Defensive abilities to me sounds like Orisa Fortify, Ram Block, Doom Block. They say Sombra's a hot topic, but I don't really think Sombra's that problematic, especially since they nerfed it on this hotfix patch. They nerfed the virus damage once early on for the impact damage, and they nerfed the damage over time. Obviously, they have to cater to the casual majority of the audience, but Sombra has not been that bad at all in the higher ranks, excuse me. I don't want to gatekeep and say I'm a higher rank than everybody else. Right? I'm only in Masters 1 right now, which is, I mean, decent after the reset, but nowhere near like, you know, champion level, which only a few people are at. Hope they nerf D.Va, and let's check out the World of Warcraft skins that they mentioned really quickly. I'm honestly not that big of a World of Warcraft player. Anybody here play WoW? Let me just take a quick peeksies. I played during the Mists of Pandaria expansion. That was my first time entering it. I played a Elemental and Enhanced Shaman. I enjoyed it for like the 2-3 months. Played a bit of BGs and some Marina, and then I got bored. But I'm an old school RuneScape player through and through. I'm an Iron Man, by the way. I've been raiding lately. If you're a maxed old school RuneScape player, let me know in the comments, and we can run some raids. And I'm basically looking for a carry, free for all split. Thank you very much. Any chambers, any TOA, any TOB. TOB I'm still learning. I haven't tried it yet, but Cox and TOA I can do. Okay, first of all, we have Lich King Reinhardt for WoW, for this Warcraft collab, excuse me. That is a Sylvanas Widowmaker. Very, very nice. Let me look at that. Oof. Okay, let's skip over. Is that Zen Green? Is that Thrall? Shaman? Okay, Thrall Zen, there you go. It's kind of ugly, sorry. And then last, we have the fourth skin. That's a classic Torb. Isn't that Magni Torb? Isn't that like already kind of a skin? Am I not mistaken? All right, and here are all 4 skins. This trailer looks pretty cool though, where they ride the little cart all the way through. But yes, Blizzard collabing with Blizzard IP. Woo, they did that for Diablo already, which the Diablo skins were pretty nice. These ones, oh, there it is. There's a close-up of it. Boom. 4 skins. My wallet is safe, personally, because I only play support. This Zen skin is not it for me. But if you love Warcraft, I mean, you do you guys. And that's what we have for Overwatch today. Let me know in the comments what you think about the director's take and the Warcraft skins. See you guys next time.